Hey Capricorns, I'm going to do your new moon Scorpio eclipse reading. I would have done them yesterday, but decided to go hiking with my kiddos. It was beautiful. And if you guys happen to like this, click like, of course. And I'd love to hear a comment from you guys, like if you find a certain particular part that you resonated with. And subscribe if you want to hear more. I do have an Instagram, which is the, what is it, Paranormal Mystic. It's just that I don't have the tarot at the end. I have another channel that's that too, which has to do with more of my paranormal and supernatural things that I'm just doing readings. So that's if you're wondering why I have that name. I've had experiences my whole life. So wow, okay, never mind. I pulled something out and more came out than I expected. So I was like, it's gonna be one, but no. The bottom of the deck, I got Reverse Fire Dragon, which is definitely some depression or anxiety, some anger outbursts. I think this other person thought that they had a very loyal relationship only to see that it's dissipating, and I think they might be listening to other people for their decision making. And I think you may be just standing in the background, not really speaking up. The outcome, I mean, it's beautiful. It's sad but beautiful, you know, learning how to stand in your integrity and be patient and wait for the right moment to talk to them about the situation, and probably spending a lot of time alone, you know. So let's get some clarifiers to figure out what this other person that you're focusing on or is focusing on you is doing. I think this other person feels like every time they try to talk to you, it just ends up kind of in a struggle, like a power struggle, you know? Like I feel like they're coming from a kind of emotionally unstable place. And so that's why it's coming out the way it is. I don't know if they're really trying to be that way. And I feel like you know they've been talking to other people, like, about the relationship, and that it may be kind of causing more problems, you know, than help. At least that's what it looks like to me. Let's see. Like, I think you kind of have a feeling that things are not going to work out, and you're willing to kind of just accept that you don't know what's best. You know, you're allowing yourself to feel in this moment that it can go either or. And I think knowing that they're spending so much time out there, either they're getting a lot of advice, you know, from other people, outside sources, coworkers, friends, family, or maybe even online. You know, they could be already like talking to people online about stuff and social media. They could be getting kind of like ideas from them, which is making them a little bit more upset and a little bit more, you know, because it's strange how it starts out like in their head they feel like they're the stable, sound, loyal one, but then when they come and try to talk to you, I feel like the only words that come out of their mouth is separation, emotional breakdown, and then it ends up being like fighting. But I feel like most of the fights that y'all are having, they're using other people's words, literally. Like they're taking, like someone is telling them what to say, if you see what I'm saying. Like, if they're coming to you and talking, they're actually remembering specific sentences or phrases. And of course, if y'all are communicating via text message or email or something, it's literally they're letting someone else kind of guide them, you know, but they're not giving that other person or that other group of people credit. They're acting like it's their own words, you know, and I'll show you why. This is who they think they are. Just by the way, I ended up getting a lot more cards for you two in the beginning with my oracle cards than I have with anyone else out of the, like, you're literally the last one I'm doing for the eclipse. Okay, so this is definitely about loyalty and trust. And of course, the King of Pentacles is stability and everything, financially grounded, material stability, But then when he shows how he feels, or she, whoever, but I guess the masculine in the Pentacles makes me feel like it's a masculine person. And then the Knight too, upside down, that when the geese are separated, it's almost always separation, right? Because geese should mate for life. And this upside down, this is definitely like a message of like unhinged emotions. It's not like, it should be a message of love, but then with it reversed, it's like a message of separation, or a message of, being upset. Why isn't this working out? What's happening? Why isn't this working? Or, why? Like moaniness. And this right here, when you get this card, usually, see, the wren likes to build off of other birds. It uses what belongs to other birds and builds. And it can be a positive situation, but it can also be a negative one. And then getting this reverse, I'm telling you that they are actually using the weapons of other people, other people's ideas. It could be as simple as, say, YouTube videos. I've had YouTube videos help me, got like a little hat flying around. I've had YouTube videos help me with, say, narcissists, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes those videos really help me out in understanding how to identify manipulation, gaslighting, and all this stuff. This person could actually be coming to you with all of these types of terms, but they may not really know why they're, like, they may be right, they may be very right in what they're saying. I don't know the situation, but it's just that they might be using social media, or friends could be filling them full of ideas. I'm not getting a bunch of illusion cards, so I've gotten some of those in some other readings. You might want to check your, for a more accurate kind of combination, your astro macros, which is your sun, moon, rising, and then also your Venus, because this eclipse is conjunct Venus. So, it's definitely going to affect Libras and Tauruses, and of course, all of us in our relationship sector and everything. It's going to be kind of intense for our people. And with the reverse dragon at the bottom of the deck, I definitely see some kind of ebb and flow waves of either depression, where you don't want to do anything and you're really, really tired, or a lot of anxiety and a lot of, like fight or flight is a good way to put it. And with you, I actually see mostly decent cards. I've got the World, the Empress, the Sun reversed. I've got the Ten of Pentacles is reversed, and the Fool. But the reason why I'm saying, okay, here's the thing, is I feel like this is you, but I feel like this is what you're seeing, Like, you're seeing them go out in the world to get their inspiration and their ideas. It could be people at work, could be family, I don't know. And I feel like you've kind of accepted it to an extent. Like, that you don't, like, you might be doubting yourself some, because if they're coming back to you with so much information that you might literally be like, well, maybe I'm not always right. Maybe I am wrong sometimes. Maybe I do make mistakes. I'm sorry. Maybe you know more than I do. You may be honestly thinking that, but I'll just let you know right now, if you're actually thinking that way and self-reflecting and admitting you don't know it all, then you are not a narcissist in the situation. Because a narcissistic person will not self-reflect, and they will not ever give anyone the benefit of the doubt. So just remember that. Sometimes people will project, and sometimes the person who is the bad one in the relationship will be the one who is wanting to beat you to the punch, especially if they're going out at work and places and playing the victim and boo-hooing and telling everyone how hard it is, and my partner is this and my partner is that, and they're doing this and they're doing that, but they're not telling the whole story. Like, when their mouth opens, all people hear is how bad you are and how innocent and victimized they are. They're gonna think, oh, you're the narcissist. I'll tell them A, B, C, D. That's what's wrong with them. And, you know, because everyone has got narcissists now, right? I mean, I've been there, done that. I've dealt with some pretty demented people. But the thing is a lot of times now that's just the route you take. It's like, oh, well, if you don't like your ex, let's label them, you know? So, especially when they're not telling the whole truth. And I don't have any cards of flat out lies. So I really think that either it's true that you genuinely don't know everything, and neither do they. Um, Maybe they honestly do genuinely feel that they've been, you know, incapable of working things out with you. I don't see them lying, which is good. At least I haven't gotten that yet. I have in the outcome a little bit, so we'll get to that. But seeing this too, I kind of feel like, you know, this is definitely you knowing that things are not working out. And, you know, they think that they're stable, you know, they feel like they're standing in stability, but getting the Ten of Pentacles reversed with y'all together, I don't think y'all are stable together. Something is definitely not working with the two of you. But I do have this one card here, which I do have the tendency to think could be like white lies or kind of manipulative talk. So they could be, you know, kind of being one-sided about it. And then if you look at this right here, you know, this is a lot of illusion right here. This is like, no matter what the option is, they don't look good. This other person thinks that no matter what happens, nothing is going to work. Same here. Sometimes what I think is so strange about this is if you look at all the tarot cards, you know, it gets to the point where they're almost like building a fortress with all of these wands and these struggles, right? And then it's like, I can't even go to town without taking them with me. I've got to take all these burdens with me. Like they carry it with them everywhere in front of them. That what they think is protecting them is probably actually what's destroying them, right? And they can't even see it because they're like, you know, this is my protection from the world. The world is the problem, but the problem is them all along, like inside of them. It's all themselves, right? And see with this right here, you know, that is a lot of past crying and upset. Usually when I get it reversed, I feel like that has passed. Sometimes it can mean it's really, really bad, but usually that's to me where been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? And then seeing this right here, hold on. Okay. I feel like this person has actually been trying to build on kind of like an illusion, sort of. It's not, I don't have a lot of illusion cards in here. Some of my other readings definitely do, but I feel like they're kind of trying to build on what they believe, and also to you, because they're bringing all these words to you. So they're telling you stuff that may not be entirely true, but they may believe it. And then they're just going to have to walk away from it because it's just not working, you know? And getting this in the outcome too definitely means time alone. It also, not to be afraid of being alone. Learn to embrace that time alone. You know, some people are so afraid of being alone and self-reflecting, but that's vital to our ability to be good people. Spending too much time alone isn't good for us, but not having enough time alone means you're not actually working on yourself so you can actually be of higher value to other people, you know. And then seeing these two, I mean, that's a really good thing. This is learning how to like stand in your integrity. And then this right here is kind of like learning patience, right? When to say something. I feel like they're the one who's been frustrated coming to you, kind of like, imagine like coming out, saying a bunch, getting upset and going back. And coming out, saying a bunch, getting upset and coming back. And I feel like you've been kind of just quiet, kind of like, you know, because this is the card I had gotten for you in the beginning. And this can be kind of standing in the gateway and not really living your life. Maybe paying too much attention to the other world is one interpretation, but a lot of times it's really just standing in between worlds and just not really participating in what's going on. And so I feel like you've kind of been, you're probably just, your jaws just dropped and you're just like, you know, wow, like this person keeps coming to you with all this stuff and you're just like, okay, yeah. But at the same time, I think you know that you need patience so that you can actually have your integrity. You need to wait for the right time to say something, right? You don't want to rush it. Like, I don't think you want to just come out blazing and then jump back in. I think you actually kind of want to think things through. Are you doing the right thing? Or are you doing the wrong thing? You know? So let's just see. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, I think they're still wanting to like have that persona of like, I have all these feelings, I have all this love, and you know, it's like constantly like little messages of woe is me. And I feel like you probably had enough. You're like this close to just kind of saying, could you just cut it out already? I think you are going to tell them a little bit of truth. You know, I think they've been standing in this energy. So let's put it this way. This is them, right? I mean, it starts out with them kind of more at night energy, but I think they're getting into the petty page energy. And then this is you. You've had enough. And you're going to have to tell them the truth and defend what you believe, I think. You know? Yeah. I think you're working on your future. You know, you're trying to work to figure out how to be the best you can be. You're trying to figure out how to move forward, how to start over. And I just don't think you have time for the pettiness. I don't. You know, I think you have too much to do. You have a life to live too. And you know, it's all going to come out in the wash anyway. You know, the cream rises to the top, it all comes out in the wash. Like, you get it. And you know for a fact that, like, um, you're not going to be that hangman anymore. You know, I do. I really think that that's what it is. I do. I think you know he's been gossiping. I keep saying he. She, whoever keeps gossiping about you behind your back. I don't know. You know if it's who it is, right? I think they've been gossiping about you behind your back. They want everyone to feel sorry for them. They're a pity party. They're a walking pity party. They need you to be the bad guy. They do. And you're just like, oh my God, like, it's gotta come out. Like, it's the truth has gotta come out at some point. I think you're kind of tired of standing your ground, but you know. And it's crazy because if you look at like Capricorn energy, it is the 10th house, right? And it has to do with your reputation and your image and your career and your goals and all this stuff. And here is this person, you know, trying to destroy it, I think. I honestly think they believe it though. They honestly feel like they have the right to do it. But yet, you know, I'm not perfect. Like, you know, your stance is, oh, I'm not perfect. We both messed up this relationship. We both failed many times. We both have our flaws and we both have our strengths. But you need so much attention. You know, needy people are like energy vampires. You know, they're going to suck the life out of people. And this was like the last card that I got. And I think with, I really think, yeah, I think you know that you just want to do you. Move on. I can't count how many people I've seen this where so many people want to do them. Like, they're not just watching tarot readings to find out what the other person is doing. They really want validation. People are thirsty and hungry for some sense of validation, some sense of reflection, because it's sad that humans in the world right now are surrounded by friends, family, and coworkers who are liars, who are manipulators, who just won't tell them the truth. Everyone has, it's like the closer people are to you, the more of an agenda they have, and they're all pushing and pulling and tugging and playing, and they kind of want to make sure they say the exact right thing to get you to do exactly what they want you to do, you know? But those of us on YouTube that are doing like tarot readings, like, we don't know you. Like, we have no agenda. We have no ability to manipulate you personally, right? So people are so thirsty for reflection. And therapists have to stick to a scientific role model. You know, religious, their counselors have to stick to their, you know, little models. And so at least here you can get some sense of reflection. People are so thirsty for that right now, you know. And I think you know your integrity. You're standing in it. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know what you value. And it will come out in the wash. It will, you know. It's sad that this has to happen, But I'm pretty sure all the people that they're crying, wah-wahing to is eventually going to get sick of hearing it too. Because, I mean, anyone with common sense knows that if someone is constantly yapping to them, that that same person is going to yap about them to other people. You know, some people just don't care. I've seen it happen in the workplace where, like, people know that the person that they like the most at work because it helps them make the most money is gossiping about them behind their back too, and they're like, I'm using you, you're using me, we're all using each other, we you know, ugh. It's so disgusting how like two-faced people can be. But yeah, I am sorry that you're dealing with this. It gets really old and petty when people have to try so hard to ruin your reputation to make themselves feel better. Plus, it's probably more of their wounded ego. They're hurt. They need someone to constantly coddle them. And let me guess, because I've been there too, you probably coddled them more than anyone in their life. You coddled them, you loved on them, you doted on them, you gave them all the, nourishment. But then when all of this past that they said to you came out and you're like, wait a minute. After a while, you learn, wait a minute. I don't know if all these people in your past are as bad as you say they are, because I'm starting to see a pattern here where you've lied to me, you've gaslit to me, you've done this in ABCD, and I'm kind of beginning to catch on that you aren't as innocent as you say. So, after you start to withdraw a little bit from this person and you're not constantly giving them endless supply, man, they start to like get it somewhere else, whether it's at work or friends, family, whatever. So, if anything, I do think that it's good if you spend time in patience. Even if you are a little bit invisible right now, who cares? You need to kind of just recuperate from all this, stand in your integrity and your ground and get strength from being that time alone. That like this does mean learning that time alone. The reason why is because you need to learn your power of how, when you get in tune with you, you can become unstoppable. You get in tune with who you are when no one else is around and you hold your integrity. People can't fuck with that. They can try all they want to, but when you know who you are, they just can't. So hopefully, when the dust clears and it all comes out in the wash, they'll be left in their pity party by themselves. I love you guys. I bless you. Until next time.